When did you know that you were, that you liked math and that?
I always liked math. I think since the time I was in probably sixth grade or less, I had a couple of really good teachers. And my second daughter, Jennifer, we tease her and call her the invisible Jennifer because she's a history teacher in LA Unified, and she doesn't have any social media. She's a year older than Rhonda. Many people don't know that she exists, right? And one day Jen says to me, Mom, I'm your least accomplished daughter. She says, Maria wrote a bestseller. Rhonda's done all this UFC, WWE stuff. Even Julia's been the NCAA championships for soccer 3 times.
Oh, wow.
And I said, Jen, that's in no way true. Because right now, who's the worst teacher you ever had? And who's the best teacher you ever had? Can you think of them? Yes or no?
Yeah, for sure.
What
No,
is-
not the worst and the best. Like the best, probably my favorites, and then the worst. I don't think so. I don't.
But you can remember the best teacher you ever had?
Yeah.
How long ago was that?
I mean, my jiu-jitsu mentors, the ones that really made a big difference for me. And I think when my childhood too, I remember them. Yeah.
But the thing is, I can ask people who are 40, 50, 60 years old, who's the best teacher you ever had? And somebody will pop into their mind. If I ask them who was the TV star or whoever that you watched at that age, did that person have as big effect on you as that teacher? No way. So I had a couple of teachers, Sister Marion, I remember, in the 6th grade, and Mr. Cartwright in the 8th grade, and they were both math teachers. Mr. Cartwright taught algebra, Sister Marion taught math. And they just made it really clear, and it seemed really fun. And the thing I like about math is...
6th grade.
6th grade, yeah. The thing I like about math is it's an answer, right? Because so much of life, what's the best way to raise your kids? You're homeschooling your kids. Are you 100% sure that's correct? I don't know. Maybe you are, but most people, you don't know, right? Should you be teaching jiu-jitsu, or would it be better if you'd invested your money in real estate? Well, it seems right, but you're not 100% sure. What's square root of 49? It's 7. That's why I like math.
Well, yeah, I know, and jiu-jitsu, and it makes me happy, makes me high in life, just to do what I do. So I think I've chosen okay,
Right.
But I hear you. Yeah, for sure. How do we know for sure?
Right,
Math doesn't lie. There's an answer. Yeah.
Well, and I had a lot of issues when I was young, right? Because, I was in foster care. I was in juvenile hall. I was on my own from 15. So a lot of the things that you are socializing your children to do and not do, there was nobody around. And even when they were around, I didn't pay any attention. So I knew when I was like 20 that I had a personality that could blister pain at 30 paces. I'm telling you. So I knew I had to go into, if I was going to get a good job, I had to go into a job that they didn't care because they needed somebody. And at the time, engineering, software development, kind of the same way now. If you were good at that, as long as you showed up to work wearing clothes, they didn't care about what else you did. And over the years, I got a little better socialized, and I learned.
Better socialized over the years.
Yes. I haven't smacked anybody at work in a good 20 years. So, actually, that happened when I was way young, and I was at Honeywell. And I was on the dock. I was working in inventory control. I was on the dock signing for something. And I feel his hand going up my leg, right? And I didn't even think. Turned around. I was 20 years old. I was pretty good shape. I turned around and picked this guy up and threw him into a wall. Which is not the sort of thing one is supposed to do at work. I don't know if you're aware of that. Well, I guess you teach jiu-jitsu, so it's probably okay for you. But generally, in an engineering environment, one does not throw one's coworkers into walls.
What happened after that?
Actually, my boss thought it was hilarious. We had to pay a fine because he was in the union, and there was some thing about it. Obviously, you're not supposed to throw people in the walls at work. So my department had to pay a fine, but my boss said it was so worth it because he thought it was hilarious. And the guy was a big jerk, and that kind of sexual harassment stuff went on, I think. I don't know if it's worse now or was then, but maybe people are just more open about it now. But he eventually pulled that thing with the wrong person who was a secretary, but her husband was very high up in the company, and she went into her husband's office hysterical, and the guy got fired. But no, the immediate thing was we had to pay a fine for me tossing the guy into a wall, but I didn't get fired because my boss thought it was funny.
He backed you up. It was the right thing. 5'2", like how big was the guy?
He wasn't that big.
Okay.
I mean,
he was a man, though.
Yeah. I mean, he was maybe your size, but he wasn't like 6'8" or anything.
Yeah. It's hilarious.